Hi children, how are you all? Hope all are doing well, all are good, fine, healthy. Okay? Yes. So, if you want to be healthy, you have to maintain the cleanliness in your life, isn't it? Yes. So, at the same time, we want to keep our surroundings also clean. Yes or no? It is very important that we have to be healthy. We have to maintain cleanliness. We have to maintain the personal cleanliness. At the same time, personal cleanliness means yes, washing our hands before and after meals, and daily we need to bath with soap and water. We have to comb the hair. We have to oil it. We have to trim the nails. Many things are there, brushing twice a day. So many things are there that we should take care of ourselves. At the same time, our surroundings also we have to take care of. So, environment, you know what is an environment? It refers to surroundings which we live. That is actually called environment. It is our duty to keep the surroundings clean in order to stay healthy. So, healthy life means healthy environment. Healthy life leads to healthy environment. So environment, you know, living things are there, non-living things, all together forms the environment. Living things means plants, animals, and we human beings are living things. Non-living things means, yes, land, water, air, they are non-living things. All living things and non-living things, they are important components of this environment or our life. Yes. So it is very important that we should take care of our environment. Human beings do many activities in the environment, but some of the activities of the human beings are polluting the environment. Yes. So now it's high time, means it is our duty to protect the environment or take care of environment without polluting it. So now today we are going to learn more about this, talking about the environment. We'll talk more about the environment. We will know more about the environment today. Talking about the environment. What is environment, or how to make our environment clean, surroundings clean, or how to take care of our environment. This talking about the environment, lesson 20, talking about the environment. Okay, so environment refers to the surroundings which we live actually. So it's duty of all of us to keep the environment safe and clean, and to protect it from the pollution. Yes. So before, you know, there was our earth was full of natural vegetation. When human settlement was increased, now population is getting increased, isn't it? Increasing. So what is happening? Yes, forests are cleared to form villages, and for land, for constructing buildings and all. So these activities, what is happening actually? Yes, we need home to live, we need to construct house, we need to live, is our need. At the same time, what is happening? Because of the human beings, more use or more exploiting the nature, we say, they're making use of this more. So because of all these activities, it makes the environment dirty or polluting. Yes, so let us see what all things we can do to take care of our environment, or what are the effects of this pollution, how to save the environment from this pollution, what are our duties for the environment to keep it safe. Okay, let us read. Yes, lesson 20, talking about the environment. Time to warm up. Look at the picture. What do you understand? Can you see the picture here? Yes. What does it indicate, or what do you understand from this picture? In this picture you can see reduce, then you can see reuse, then you can see recycle. So what do you understand from this? Reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce. These are the 3 R's. 3 R's to reduce the or to protect the environment. 3 R's means reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce is the thing that we have to reduce the or minimize the amount of waste we create. Reduce means that minimize the amount of waste we create daily. In every house we can see waste are there. It's common. So try to reduce the or minimize the waste we create. That is the meaning of reduce. Reuse means use. Using items more than once. That is reuse. Using items more than one. Then recycling. Recycle means yes, putting the product into new use instead of throwing it away. Putting the product into new use instead of throwing it away. So we have to reduce or minimize the amount of waste we create daily. Unnecessarily don't create the waste. In that way we can reduce the waste. Reuse. Example, if I say reuse, suppose we are using water for washing the clothes and cleaning, mopping the floor. We are using water. So instead of throwing it away, we can we can use that water to watering the plants instead of throwing it away. So like that, reuse. Okay, then recycling. Putting the product into new use instead of throwing it away. If you have old toys, clothes, instead of throwing it away, you can give to the poor children or poor people who are in need of that. Yes, then we can recycle many things. The waste we can recycle. There are factories which are recycling papers or waste products and putting that into new product. Yes, so recycling. Yes, so time to know. Anything which is required or used to sustain life is called a resource. Yes, nature is gifted with lot of things. Air, water, wind, sun, forest. These are all nature gift and they are all resources, we say. It is in the nature. So they are called natural resources. So anything which is required to sustain life, to continue our life, we need some things, isn't it? So that is actually resource. A natural resource is a resource obtained from nature. Nature gifted us with many things that are called natural resources. Resources are all the requirements of organism, populations and communities which help in accumulation of energy by the availability. So they are the requirement of organism, all the living organism, those who are living here in the environment, the population, communities, for the requirement. Resources are all the requirements. We need resources to live. Help in accumulation means gathering the energy by the availability. Initially, man identified these natural gifts when they were available around him and learned to use them. Starting, man identified, oh, these are the nature gift, natural resources. They are available and they are here to so that we can use them. Yes, they learned how to use them. It is well known that everything that comes from nature has some utility for men, but its utilization has only provided the availability of appropriate technology is known. Yes, so anything that comes from the nature, whatever nature has provided us, yes, it is using by the people, isn't it? Its utilization has provided the availability. Because it is available, we are using it. So the way we are using it, it matters actually. Sunshine, wind, forest, wildfire were present much before the appearance of man on the earth. Before there was man on the earth, these all things were there here. Wind, sunshine, air, water, everything was there on the earth before human beings were there. In a similar manner, for centuries, coal and mineral oil were present below the earth's surface, but the appropriate technologies were not known to utilize them. Yes. Before people were there, these natural resources were there in the earth. At the same time, coal, petroleum, these also were there here under the earth. Yes, so but actually what is the thing is the appropriate technologies were not known. Those days technologies were not introduced. They were not known to utilize them. With the development of civilization and technology, when human settlement take place, technology advanced, what happened? It has now been possible to use different kinds of energy. Now it is possible to use different kinds of energy. Thus it can be said that any material may be termed as a resource provided appropriate technology is available to transform them into more valuable forms. Now, yes, because technology is advanced, human settlement increased, so everyone knows about this resource. Because of this technology and all, they are transforming one energy to another energy. Yes, natural resources can be defined as things, materials of nature which can be put into some use by human beings for the growth, development and other necessities. So natural resources, how can we define that? They are things actually. They are the gift of nature or materials of nature which can be put into some use by human beings. Human beings are putting them into use for their growth, for their development and other necessities. It's the need actually. Wind, air, water, they are the need of human beings, isn't it? Yes, coal, petroleum, without that they cannot survive, they cannot live. So human beings are making use of these natural resources. They are depending on this. They are the necessities actually. For example, air, water, soil, forest, animals, minerals, metals, energy and other substances are some examples of natural resources that are utilized by human beings. Yes, these are the natural resources which are using or utilizing by the people, by the human beings. At present, total global production is nearly enough to match the human demand for energy, materials, etc. if we judiciously distribute the resources available to us. Now, the total global production, because of the population increase, demand is more for these resources. So if we are using it judiciously or wisely, if we are using it properly without wasting them, then these resources will be available to us whenever we need it. Otherwise, these resources run on shortage. The resources are not equally distributed throughout the world. We can realize the value of resources only when it is rather scarce. Yes, now see, everyone are getting according to the need they are getting, so they don't know the value of it. Once if it is running shortage, when it is not available properly according to human beings need, if they are not getting the resources properly, then they will understand the value of these resources. When it is running shortage or when it is scarce, lack of its availability, if it is not available, if it is not plentiful, then they will understand the value. Our exploitation threatens most of our natural resources now. So man is overusing it, wasting it. If they are following the same thing, then our life is in a big danger, we can say, because once it reach a time where these resources are not available, then what will happen? We won't be able to use these resources. The life becomes difficult here for all of us. So we have to use the available resources very wisely, judicially, make proper use of it without wasting it, and we have to save with this natural resources for the future generation also. So keeping in mind that we have to utilize these resources without exploiting it, without making use of this, overuse of this. Yes. So natural resources, they are the gift of nature. Yes, nature gift us with many things like air, water, forest, soil, animals, vegetation, metals, energy, coal, petroleum. These are natural resources which are available in the nature itself. So we as human beings, activities, it is making the environment more polluted, but and overuse of these resources also making problem to the availability of these resources. So it's our duty to use the resources wisely, judicially, without wasting it. Yes, so now it's very important to know how we can conserve our natural resources without wasting it, because it's the duty of each and every one who are living here in the earth to conserve the natural resources, the resources that are gifted by the nature. So how to do that? Conservation of natural resources. Yes, conservation of natural resources. Forest, fuel reserves, soil, water. These are natural resources. Forest. Then fuel reserves. Then soil, water. These are all natural resources. Yes, fuel reserves means what? Without fuel, it is not possible for us to live here, isn't it? Fuel. We need fuel for cooking. Then we need fuel for the vehicles. Coal, petroleum. These are fuel reserves. We see natural gas. They are all fuels actually. Okay? Yes, so these are all natural resources. Natural resources are also called natural wealth. They are our natural wealth. So natural resources, they are also called as natural wealth, or we can say it's nature gift. Yes, or gift of nature. Yes, for the simple reason that human and all other organisms depend on these natural resources directly or indirectly for the survival and existence. Yes, so we human beings depends upon these resources directly and indirectly to live on the earth. Then only we can continue our life on the earth, for our survival, for our existence, to exist on earth, for our life on earth, to continue our life on earth. We need these natural resources. Air and water are necessary for all living organisms and form the basic principle of existence of life on earth. To exist our life on earth, the main necessary things are air and water. Without air and water, we cannot survive. Without oxygen, we cannot breathe. Without water, we cannot live. We will die. Yes. Water is also required for various industrial and domestic needs of human beings, which are increasing with the growing population. Water is very much essential. Without water, how can we live? More than 1 or 2 days, we cannot live without water. Human beings will die without taking water, isn't it? So it's very important for us, and also for all the other purposes, like apart from drinking, we need it for washing, cleaning, bathing, etc. Then in some industries, some factories, they need water. Yes. Then, but what is happening? Because of the increasing population, water demand is getting more. Soil or land is required for producing food. Soil we need for producing food. Farmers need good soil, quality of soil they need to grow crops in that. If the soil has no quality, they won't be able to cultivate crops, paddy, rice, whatever, wheat. Then land we need. Land is required for the human beings, for shelter. Then not only human beings, but animals and plants, all of us need this soil and land. Forest or trees are beneficial in many ways. Forest or trees, they are beneficial to us in many ways. They are helpful to us in many ways, from wood to medicines to paper to almost every other essential commodities. For medicines we need forest and trees. For paper we need trees, because we are getting paper from trees. Wood we are using for making furnitures. Wood, many villages, they are using it as fuel for cooking. For medicines we need these trees and plants. So without that it is impossible. So they are very essential commodity, very important products for us. The tree provide us with all. Fuel reserves are required for almost all domestic and industrial purposes. Fuel reserves, fuels we need. For all house, they need fuels. All people, all industrial purposes also, they need fuel to run the company, to run the factory. Thus, we see that our existence is impossible without these natural resources. So, our existence, we cannot live here in the earth without these natural resources. So, we are depending on these natural resources. We cannot live without them. What is of great concern is that due to the ever-growing demands, Humans are exploiting these natural resources ruthlessly, which risk our existence. Yes, because of the ever growing demand. Population is increasing a lot. Day by day, population is increasing. Number of people everywhere it is increasing. So demand for natural resources also increasing. And what is happening? Human beings are exploiting, they're taking advantage of these natural resources, more and more use of these resources, and they're exploiting it without thinking or without any mercy or any pity. There's ruthlessly, means without mercy, they are simply making use of this, and because of that we are in a danger position now. We are using these resources to such an extent for our demands, which leads to exhausting of this reserves and consequent depletion of the quality. Yes, so resources we can divide it into two, exhaustible and inexhaustible, we say. Exhaustible means once the resources are in the limited quantity, if we are not properly using it, we cannot use it again, then it will we cannot regenerate it. That is exhaustible, it gets exhausted. They are non-renewable resources, we say. Coal, petroleum, they are non-renewable. Inexhaustible means in nature these resources are there in plenty, like wind, air, sun, they are in plenty. We can regenerate it or replenish it, we say. They are renewable resources, we say. So exhaustible and inexhaustible resources are there. So what is happening? These resources, because of the demand, we are making more use of it, and it is getting exhausted. Now the situation is very difficult. This reserves or resource reserves, the availability of these resources are falling short now, because falling production now, and depletion of the quality result in the reduction of the quality. Thus earth shall soon reach the brink of irreparable damage. Now because of this, what is happening? Overuse of these resources without thinking, without using judicially. Human beings are exploiting these resources. So earth is in danger position. Brink means dangerous position of irreparable damage, means we cannot repair this damage. We won't be able to create this resource again. Once it is used up. It is exhausted means no way to use it again or can create it again. It leads to great environmental concern like pollution. Yes, and what is happening? Because of this human activities, growing population, land, forests are clearing, they are cutting trees, and that is called deforestation, and the soil quality is getting reduced, and because of these problems, what is happening actually? Pollution, because man is using everything more overuse. So if population is increasing, use of all the resources are increasing, and vehicles are increasing, which creates pollution like air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution. All these pollutions are increasing a lot. More vehicles, from vehicles black smoke is coming out, polluting the air. That is making human beings health problems, health hazards like cancer, breathing problem, asthma, like there are many different health issues are happening, polluting the earth, polluting the air. So because of no trees, actually we need to plant more trees, but here human beings are cutting trees more. Because of that, soil erosion is happening. Soil is losing its fertility. If more trees are there, it reduces the pollution actually. They take off carbon dioxide and they give us oxygen. But now because of no trees, we are not getting fresh air also. Yes, so it increases pollution. Global warming. Global warming means what? Yes, this atmosphere, in atmosphere where we live here, some gases are there. They trap these gases from the heat. These gases trap the heat from the earth's sun, from the sun. Okay, so this atmosphere, gases are there which traps the heat of the sun. These are called greenhouse gases, and these gases in some actually like in some extent they are useful to the earth atmosphere, or we say greenhouse effect, it is a natural phenomena. But at the same time, what is happening when there is a rise in temperature, it results in global warming. Greenhouse effect is a natural phenomena. Gases that trap the heat of the sun, for the survival of human beings, or for all the living beings in the atmosphere, these gases are the which traps the heat of the sun. So it is okay to some level, but when it goes to a great extent, or what happens, rise in temperature is happening. So that is global warming. Global warming, to some extent it is beneficial to the atmosphere, but when it crosses the limit, what happens, yes, when it crosses the limit, what is happening actually? Temperature is rising more. So it affects the food production, it affects the climate, actually it alters the earth climate, and climate change is happening, and some areas food production is getting affected, even drought and no rainfall. These problems are happening because of global warming, rising temperature of the earth. Yes. Then consequent effects like disturbance in water levels. Water levels are getting disturbed, critical damage to the earth. Yes, so this creates the need to conserve the natural resources. So now these are the conditions which make us to protect to conserve our natural resources. Yes, we can do that in a number of ways. So how to conserve the natural resources? So how to do this? We can do it in many ways. Water needs to be conserved as the potable water levels have come down. Say, first we have to conserve the water. Water is very much essential to us. To live on earth, we need water. We have to conserve it. Potable water, the water which is safe for drinking water, it is actually called potable water. Even though in our earth, most part of the earth is water only, but drinking water availability is very less. Only 2% of this water is good, clean water. So it is also running shortage. So first we need to conserve water. We can limit water use at domestic level. So whenever we use the water, don't waste it and use. Instead of bathing, taking a shower, use a bucket of water and bath. And don't open the tap and clean the utensils. Don't open the tap and brush the teeth. Whatever water means, the water which we are using for cleaning clothes and all, do not throw it away. We can water these plants. Use this water for watering the plants. So like that, judicially, wisely, we should use the water without wasting it. Minimize the use of that. We can recycle water and reuse it wherever possible. If we want, we can reuse it. At the same time, we can recycle the water. Waste water, we can recycle it. Then we should prevent pollution of water sources. Don't pollute the water. Human beings, because of washing of clothes near the rivers, ponds, lakes, bathing of cattle, animals and all, dumping wastes into the rivers, and from the factories and industries, they are directly letting out the waste to the rivers and all. This is making the water pollute. Dirty. So try to avoid these situations. Human beings themselves, they are polluting the water. Instead of that, don't do this kind of activities. Forests are being exploited ruthlessly. Forest also, human beings are clearing the forest. Yes. So we should prevent deforestation. Cutting of trees, we should prevent. If we are cutting one tree, we should plant more trees then. And find alternative measures for meeting all needs. So we have to find some extra measures, steps, solution for this. Alternative sources like solar power, wind energy, synthesized materials, etc. help us to meet our demands in a sustainable way. So there are some alternative sources. Alternative resources. We need to find some alternative resources, because it is time to conserve our natural resources. So we should find some other solution to solve this problem. So we have to find some alternative resources. Alternative resources are like solar power, means solar energy, wind power. These are some alternative sources to conserve our natural resources. Like solar power, we use solar energy, conservation of energy from from the sun's energy, solar energy, the heat from the sun. We use it for generating electricity. So nowadays street lights and all, they are using solar power. We use solar cooker nowadays, solar heaters. So these are alternative sources. We can conserve our natural resources by using solar power. Wind energy, wind is used to generate electricity. So like that, these are the alternative methods that we can use to conserve our natural resources. Recycling the waste, purify water, create clean energy, and conserve the natural resource. Then use of technology and science to create products that are more environmental friendly. These are the things that we can do, the alternate source to conserve our natural resources. Then sustainable development. Sustainable way means meeting our needs without compromising the ability of future, because we need to conserve this for the future generation also to meet their own needs. So we have to conserve natural resources. We have to find an alternative way to meet all these demands in a sustainable way. Sustainable development ensures meeting present human needs, taking care of the environmental balance and future requirements. Yes, sustainable development means we have to meet the human needs. Whatever needs we have, we want these resources. At the same time, we have to take care of the environment. There should be a balance that we have to maintain, so that we can conserve these natural resources and we can save it for the future, so that they can meet the demands, the needs. Nowadays, the concept of green technology is introduced to take care of advancement with natural preservation. Green technology, yes, go green. Yes, means using of technology and science to create the products which are environmental friendly. That is green technology. Nowadays, the concept of green technology is introduced to preserve the nature. Thus, all such measures can help us to conserve natural resources effectively. These all steps or measures help us to conserve the natural resources. So we can conserve our natural resources in a number of ways. We have to first we have to conserve water, potable water. Drinking water availability is less, so conserve water by reusing and recycling water. Then we have to reduce the water pollution. Then forest are cutting because of deforestation. Forests, they are clearing and all. So instead of that, we need to plant more trees. Then at the same time, we should find alternative sources like solar power, wind power, which helps us in conserving the natural resources. At the same time, using green technology, using technology and science to create products which are environmentally friendly. These all help us to conserve the natural resources, so that we can save these natural resources for the future generation. So that is conservation of natural resources. So natural resources are gift of nature. They are natural wealth actually. So forest, fuel resource, soil, water, wind, sun, they are our natural resources. So it's our duty to conserve these natural resources. They are the gift of nature. Without these natural resources, human beings cannot live on the earth. For the existence, for the survival, we are depending directly and indirectly these natural resources. So it is important to conserve these natural resources, because nowadays the growing population because of the growing population, what is happening? Demands for these natural resources are increasing. Human beings are exploiting these natural resources. Because of that, overuse of these resources, now the resources are running shortage or falling production, or the human beings' activities are depleting the natural resources. Now reduction is happening in these resources. So it leads to the great environmental concern now, like because of this human activities, environment is getting polluted, global warming, then water pollution, many problems are happening. So now that is the need. This is the need. This is the problems. These are the problems that we are facing. So it is high time to conserve the natural resources. So the number of ways how to conserve natural resources we were learning. Yes, so Keep in mind that we should conserve natural resources because it is running shortage. It's high time now. It's a duty of each and every one of us to conserve and protect the natural resources and save it for the future generation. Now we will see about the effects of this pollution. Already you know, because of the human activities or growing population, what is happening? Pollution is happening more in the earth in terms of air, water, noise, soil, land pollutions are happening. So what are the effects of this pollution? Let us see.